Wilmette is just going to be starting the spring market. Really, Monday will be the day when things kick off and really start to get busy. The holiday kind of puts things, on quiet time, and now people will be looking for the spring market. Most of the homes in Wilmette will sell in the first 6 months of the year, because of the school year affects things dramatically each year. So, it's going to be a real busy time. Most likely there'll be multiple offers and things will be selling very quickly. The people coming from out of town, I've seen quite a few coming from California, which, given the weather and etc., was surprising at first. But there are a lot of people coming from California, a lot of job movement and company movement, and then also just continuing a lot of people from the city coming. And typically people will come with children that are newborns. People will come pregnant much more than in the past when they would come with older children, like maybe 4 or 5 years old. So there's definitely been a change and people coming more quickly ever since COVID and some of the things going on in the city of Chicago. Also, another group is people that grew up in the area. Just had some people move from New York, and they both grew up here. They've been living in New York, and then they came to the area. So another thing to consider is there's never going to be any more land in Wilmette to build on, except if a house is knocked down and a new home is built. So there was just a home that was on the market, and I showed it to a potential buyer that ended up buying a different home. But this home was, just like a good home. Like they were considering it, and it's just a good, solid home in a good location. And then the next thing we saw was a sign went up that it was being knocked down and a new home was being built. It was just surprising because the price of the home was higher. So the prices keep going up for the land because the prices of new construction keep going up. I mean, everything has jumped just dramatically in the last 5 years. The prices have gone up just a tremendous amount. So to find a better value, people typically are going a little further west. Ramona district, where Ramona School is, had quite a few people go over there and buy new homes, and those homes are significantly, a good amount less than further east. I mean, I would say anywhere from $200,000 to $500,000 less, depending on the home. And people can get what they want, be in Wilmette, be in a great school district, and just pay less money and a little further from the lake. But people don't really seem to care about that because the drive to, the beach, the sailing beach, the dog beach is just very insignificant. It's like, 5 minutes. And you get the benefit being further west of being by the parks and being closer to the expressway. You don't have to wait to go over the train tracks to go places. People have mentioned that to me. So these are factors for people moving to Wilmette. Some of the changes, kind of movement taking place in the market. So coming into the spring, it's good to know these things. The other thing is the neighborhood, Kenilworth Gardens, is just north of Lake Street, just west of Ridge. This neighborhood has seen just a really, really crazy bump up. The lot sizes there, except for one street in particular, some of the lots, but most of the lots are smaller. Smaller lots, smaller homes. One home just really cracked a barrier of $2 million last spring, which was a huge price for an existing home that was not new construction, did have an addition put on it, had multiple offers, and somebody paid pretty close to $100,000 more than anybody else. A couple from the city coming up, and that neighborhood is just very popular because people like the kind of insulated feel of it. There's very little traffic coming through there, except if you live in the neighborhood. You can walk to Harper School, you can walk to Thornwood Park, and it's very close to downtown, just maybe a mile and a half. So these are things that people are really gravitating towards as far as competing for homes. That's why some people have bumped over to like Ramona and gotten something for less money, a little better value. And then further east, that's kind of the example I gave where the home was knocked down, even though it was perfectly good home, because the new construction prices have gone up so much. Now Northwestern is putting in a new football stadium, and I think this is going to be a big plus overall for Wilmette and East Wilmette too. I think they'll get the parking and everything out of, under control, and it'll be a positive thing for the neighborhood, because it actually should be a nice thing to do, is walk over, see a concert, see a football game at a much more upgraded stadium. So I think Wilmette, when you move to Wilmette, this will be a big plus, really. And then another thing to consider in Wilmette is, and this comes up all the time, people have been moving to Wilmette who work like in the West Loop. They're concerned about the commute. Some people have been taking the Metro train to Ogilvie and then just taking a short Uber ride to avoid all the traffic, and it's been working out pretty well. Other people will travel off hours, and then other people will go to Lakeshore Drive. It's about the same travel time. Even if it's a few minutes more, it makes more sense because you just ride along the lake. It's a much more enjoyable ride than sitting on the expressway, which has a big construction project going on still. So, these are things to consider when you're coming to Wilmette. So just call, text, email with any questions. I help many people with their moves to Wilmette and can really give you ideas about off-market properties, things coming on the market soon, and how things, compare, so that you make a wise move. There was just a home, people from California. I actually put in a different video that we got this home, and it was just an amazing home to get with a better value, less money than the new construction, than the homes getting multiple offers being bid up so much. So we got a bigger lot, a home that needed a little bit of work, and now that they put some new siding on, did some work on the inside, it's a much better home than other people were bidding on a smaller lot, very confined lot. And so they got a better home for just being open-minded and kind of following my lead and taking some action. So call, text, email if you need any help, have any questions at all.